Hello, everyone, from OneWrestling.com. This is Bill Apter. I'm here at the NWA Legends Convention in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm with two of the great legends of all time, Superfly Jimmy Snuka and the Soul Man Rocky Johnson. Now, one question I have is, and if you did, I don't remember this, did you two ever team up?
Yeah, we did. We did it a few times. We teamed up in Honolulu, Hawaii. Actually, we were the Hawaiian Tag Team Champions for about 5.5 months. We never lost the belt. We let them go because we went on tour of Japan.
What was it like teaming up with Rocky Johnson?
Brother, it's always nice to have the Soul Man as a tag team partner. You know the psychology of our wrestling business. When you get two brothers like this together, you know it's on.
All right. What kind of tag team partner was he, Rocky?
Be truthful with you and honest.
Don't lie to me.
He was one of the best.
Okay, all right.
He was the greatest.
Now, both of you, of course, the lineage of your families, Rocky, of course, your son, The Rock, he's currently making movies.
That's right. He is. He's doing very well. He was also in the wrestling business. And I'm going to tell you something that will surprise you, that Jimmy was also my brother-in-law. We were married to two sisters at one time.
Oh, right. I do remember that.
Right, so you knew that.
There's a long
There's
history.
a big family there, and me and Jimmy will be together for life.
Now, Jimmy's daughter is currently...
Yeah, that's right. She's currently wrestling, and Jimmy can answer the questions better than me.
I was just going to do that. Jimmy, tell us how your daughter got to be to the level she is in the WWE.
Well, brother, you know, like my daughter and Jimmy, they started out when they were young. You know, I had a gym downstairs. I had a punching bag, you know, teaching them the martial arts, because I know that once they go to high school and everything, it's going to be a big problem for them. So, you know, I prepared them, and, you know, now where they're at right now. So Serona, she wanted to get involved in professional wrestling.
And she works as Tamina.
Right. And, but that's what she wanted, and I said it ain't going to be easy, but if that's what you want, that's what Dad would love to do for you.
So when you're sitting there on Monday nights watching her on TV, what are you thinking?
Brother, I love every bit of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could sit there and just think back and say, wow, that's my daughter.
All right.
And I love it, brother. She's a good girl. She's prepared for it, and she's going to do something good for everybody.
Now, your son, of course, was in WWE for a period of time, and he left. What happened there, and what's he doing now?
Well, he's still wrestling around Independence, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be bringing him back again, you know. And, you know.
What would you do with it if you were... Actually, let's ask Rocky this, okay? If you were the booker running the WWE, what would you do with his son at this point?
At this point, I would bring him back up. I'd put him back in the wrestling business. I would change him a little bit. I'd put him in the gym. I'd change him. What I would do, maybe they wouldn't agree with.
So what would you do? How would you refine
I'd bring him back out as the Polynesian, not as the ace and deuce. I'd bring him back as himself, as natural, and I'd put a little pizzazz and razzmatazz in him, and let him go back out and be himself. I really believe they didn't have the right character for him.
Right.
I don't think it was his fault. I just didn't think they knew how to create him.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion. I think the problem is the day they give the guys they give them that character, and the character doesn't suit them, and they don't know how to change it. Okay. I'm not saying I know more than anybody,
right?
But I've worked with a lot of guys.
Yeah, I know you have.
I've worked with my son, and I took him on to be world champion, and I'm not taking the credit because you have to have the ability to become champion, and I think Jimmy's son had that ability. It just wasn't put in the right places at the right time.
When you first heard that he wasn't going to be Jimmy Snuka Jr., what was your feeling about that?
You know, brother, it's a hard situation to think about it, but that's the way the business goes.
Yeah.
You know, but still yet, it is not because he's not my son, it's because he is my son. Okay. And I just want to let the world out there know, brother, that we love them, and we love you, and we thank you for interviewing us. You are the greatest, We love you, me and Brother Rocky.
Well, thank you both. Thank you both. Yeah, yeah. Now, what I want to ask you, everybody's always talking about the negatives of today's pro wrestling. What are the positives of today's pro wrestling?
Well, the negatives is everybody says. I think the negatives is a lot of showmanship. There's a lot, little, one over the line, a little bit too much showmanship in professional wrestling.
Well, what are the positives?
The positive is you have to be a great athlete. You have to be trained. You have to be in good condition. You go over them top ropes, you're hitting that floor, you're coming off a 15-foot ladder, you're going over the ropes, you're hitting the table. You better know how to fall. You better know how to be in shape. You got to get up. You got to understand this. A lot of people don't, and I'm not knocking any other sport, but I've been there and done that. When you get hurt, when we hurt our back or shoulder or knee, we got to go back in tomorrow night. We don't get on the 15-day disabled list. Yeah. And that's what, we got to get up. Pull our pants up and go again.
So the positive is?
The positive is you better be in condition at all times.
Okay.
And you better start grinding.
All right.
And keep going.
Jimmy Snuka, again, everybody talks about the negatives of wrestling on all the message boards and all that on the internet. What are the positives about wrestling in 2010?
Brother.
You watch it, so.
I watch it all the time. I love watching it. I'm right into this business as always. Negative.
No, negatives we know enough about. What are the positives?
The positives is what you love.
Yeah.
It's entertainment and people enjoy it.
Yeah.
If they didn't enjoy it, they wouldn't watch it.
Yeah.
It's very simple. If you don't like it, change the channel.
Yep.
It takes 1 second.
So, brother, the most important key is keep going ahead and forget about the negative. And that's what I told my daughter. And I want to wish her very much.
Think about the positives. Yeah, yeah.
Stay ahead of that and be that way, because that's how it's going to get you there, by being positive. If you get a negative, something is holding you back, which you don't want. You clear that out of the way and you continue on.
All right.
And I just want to wish my daughter the best of luck.
Oh, yeah.
And the happiness in this world. Go get them, sister. Pop loves you very much.
Now, our last question. We're going to go back in time here. I need you to lean in. We're going to do an old school interview, okay, tonight. For the tag team belts, you two are defending the titles against the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal, Rocky Johnson, Jimmy Snuka. What's going to happen tonight when you meet them in Honolulu, Hawaii?
What's going to happen tonight, I'm not going to be screaming and hollering. I never believed in that and never went out around my mouth and said I was going to do this or going to do that. I went out with one thing in mind, and that was to win, no matter what it took, at no cost.
So look at the camera and tell
at
the
no
Road
cost,
Warriors what you're gonna do.
at no cost, I'm going to be the boss.
All right. Jimmy Snuka, what's going to happen tonight? You and Rocky Johnson against the Road Warriors?
You know what, brother? There's nothing to worry about, because once you start, everything's going to be lovely, brother.
In the TV Wonderland?
You bet.
All right.